This is a little study of great things. One man started out in life without sponsors, without a university education, without money. Someone said to him, "What have you beside your two hands to make a success of life?" He said softly, "I have nothing but words." The friend smiled, not understanding him. So he started on his lonely quest for success with nothing but words. He learned the secret of putting things into words, of making words living things. He freighted his words with thought, clear thought, and after a bit, he learned the secret of putting his fine, clean, splendid manhood into his words. Men began to set a value upon his words. People would stop him on the street to engage him in conversation just to hear his words. You understand that almost every man who has climbed to the top of the ladder of success has climbed with words. Here and there a man has climbed because of an unusual voice or an unusual gift of artistry, but the majority of men have gotten their feet on the first rung of the ladder of success by words. They climbed rung by rung to the top. A man must put a valuation on his own words before others will sense their value. The ambitious man's words became his bank account. He studied, he dug deep, he thought through on problems. Other people learned to trust his judgment and his words, rather than to study for themselves. There is a vast army of people who have certain business ability, but they have to hire others to do most of their thinking. He supplied that want, he did the thinking. By and by they were willing to pay him almost any price to have him think for them. His words became valuable. They were his servants. How they labored for him! He filled words with inspiration, with comfort, with hope for others. He sent them out on wings, until they passed from house to house, from lip to lip. He found himself being quoted here and there. His words were doing things. They were his servants working for him. He had learned the secret of words. By and by, publishers paid him almost unthinkable prices for his words. Why? Because he had learned the art of filling words with inspiration, new life. Let's study words. Let's learn to fill them with goodies for the children, healing for the sick, victory for the discouraged, and we will win. The man who learns to master his words becomes a master over his world. The world listens to people who say something worthwhile, and they follow people who say it well. If your words carry truth, conviction, courage, and clarity, you become a beacon in a dark and confusing world. Many waste their words in idle chatter, in gossip, in complaint, and never realize that they are scattering gold dust to the wind. But those who conserve their speech, who refine it, who pour meaning into every syllable, these are the ones whose voices linger in memory, whose words outlive their years. One cannot afford to speak aimlessly. Speech is power. Words build or destroy. They open doors or close them. They light fires or quench them. They elevate or debase. The wise man knows this and chooses his words with the care of a jeweler cutting diamonds. He knows each phrase is a tool or a weapon, a bomb or a blade. And so, the man who learned to work with words began to see that language is not merely a method of communication but a force of creation. He spoke worlds into being. He spoke futures into lives. His sentences were seeds. His conversations planted harvests. People came to him for advice, for vision, for hope. They wanted to hear what he would say next, for his words made them feel they could go on, they could believe again, they could rise above. This did not happen by accident. It came by discipline. He read, he studied, he practiced, he repeated. He failed and retried. He labored like a craftsman sharpening a chisel, knowing that the day would come when he would need to carve a path with his tongue, shape destinies with his declarations. And that day came. One by one opportunities began to unfold. Doors that had been closed to the less articulate swung open for him. He walked through them not with riches in his hand, but with words in his heart and purpose in his mouth. He had made himself a treasure house of phrases, a vault of thoughts, a library of ideas. His words began to make him known in places he had never been. They traveled further than he could walk. They found ears he had never seen. They carried his message to cities and countries and halls of influence. People quoted him in speeches, in articles, in classrooms, in homes. His voice, recorded or printed, lived in other hearts. And still, he remained a student of words, always learning, always refining, always reaching deeper for meaning and expression. He understood that words grow stale if not renewed, that the tongue must be trained like an athlete's body, that lazy language becomes lifeless. So he pushed himself, tested new ways to say old truths, wrapped ancient wisdom in fresh garments. And the world loved him for it. What began as nothing but words became everything. It became his career, his calling, his crown. He who had no sponsors now sponsored dreams in others. He who had no education became an educator through expression. He who had no money became wealthy through vocabulary. And you, yes, you have words, too. You have within you the same treasury, waiting to be unearthed, developed, refined, and released. Your words can heal a wound or deepen it. Your words can stir up courage or sow fear. Your words can revive a soul or crush it. Your words can command attention or repel it. So, study your words, value them, practice them. Stop wasting your breath on what does not build. Start investing your mouth in what gives life. Make your words work for you. Train them like a team of horses. Harness them with discipline. Yoke them with wisdom. Aim them with purpose. Speak less, but with more power. Let your silence be golden, and your speech be diamonds. As you build this power, as you choose each word with care, you will see doors open where none seemed possible. You will feel people draw near to hear your insight. You will leave impact with nothing but the echo of your voice. You will shape minds and destinies without lifting more than your lips. The power of words is available to all, but mastered by few. Decide today to be among the few. Decide that your words will rise above mediocrity and move into mastery. Refuse to use language merely to pass time or fill air. Refuse to be casual with the most powerful tool you possess. Begin today to shape your tongue like a sword for justice, a pen for truth, a trumpet for hope, and one day, like that man who had nothing but words, you too will look back and realize those words made you rich not just in money, but in meaning. Rich in relationships, rich in reputation, rich in reach. Your words will go where your feet cannot. They will speak when you are gone. They will defend your name, spread your values, carry your vision. But only if you treat them now as treasure, as responsibility, as power. So do not say you have nothing. If you have words, you have everything you need to begin. And if you will begin speaking life, begin speaking truth, begin speaking with excellence, then nothing will be impossible to you. Remember, words build bridges over impossible terrain. Words unlock imprisoned souls. Words start revolutions and revive generations. Do not take them lightly. Do not throw them away. Guard your words like gold. Hone them like steel. Cherish them like children, and release them like arrows into a world desperate for direction. Yes, this is just a little study of great things. But if you understand it, and if you act on it, it can make your life one of the great things in this world, all from nothing but words.